me do this right now. Okay. Hello, everyone. Welcome in. Today we have Harrisburg University's Day 1 CPT information session. We have the honor to have two senior admission counselors on board today with us. They are Justin Howell and Tyler Howell. Welcome. So today's webinar will last for 45 minutes, and the agenda will include, but not limited to, #1 destination for STEM field. They have 12 STEM programs. And second, student favorites. They have project management, analytics, engineering, AI concentrations, and majors available. And next is about Harrisburg University's CPT policy, tuition and fees, and application details. And for the last part of our webinar today, we'll have about 15 minutes of Q&A session live with Justin and Tyler today. So if you have any question or any application question for the school, or if you want an application link, please scan the QR code here on the screen and along the way as we talk, so you can have a free consultation with us. Let's keep going. So a little bit about who GoElite is. We are today's webinar hosting company, also partner with Tyler and Justin here. We are located in Los Angeles. We're a professional consulting agency dedicated to helping international students to thrive in the US. And your success is really our mission. So don't forget to put your questions in our Q&A session, and our Q&A specialist, Kristen, will get to your questions later. So our services are, but not limited to Day 1 CPT University application, F1 reinstatement, or emergency transfer. Also, we have a partner that take change of status services. So we are the 6th institution certified by AIRC, which is American International Recruitment Council. We're probably the VIP sponsor of AIRC's meeting this year. So yeah, check us out online. And let's keep going. We have a new project ongoing. It's already released online. If you are already enrolled, this will benefit you a lot. Each of the rewards point in our Day 1 CPT community rewards program will equal to $1 that you can redeem into the 3 ways methods under here, from Starbucks gift cards to Visa prepaid cards that you can use. And at GoElite, we support your application process. And not only that, this is what I'm showing for our after enrollment support, which will our service will cover from the beginning for your recommendation of programs and till the end for your WhatsApp group of Harrisburg University. So another project that we just launched is the White Book for all international students. We do have a very ambitious goal of covering all the incoming international students' questions in the book. And you will discover in the book these guidelines here: visa application and interview guide, how to find safe and affordable housing, healthcare, how to navigate the healthcare system in the US, and how to secure employment. And there are much more oncoming. So if you have anything else you want to add to the book that you find might be interested or might be helpful, let us know. So about just how we serve our clients and how to make everybody happy, we are having this 5.0 rating on Google Maps. So check it out, and hope this also testifies just we are a reliable source when you're looking for help. So we're also online on social media everywhere. If you're interested, you can get on it and connect with us and say hi. And I think I'll stop share and pass it to Tyler. When are you ready, Tyler?
Thank you. All right, let's go ahead and share. Thank you, everybody, for joining us this evening. And thank you, Alice and GoElite, for hosting us. We're happy to be here and to share some information with all of you regarding Harrisburg University and the incredible STEM programs that are offered there for international students. Just to give you a little background on the university itself, it was founded in 2001 and is accredited by the Middle States Commission on Higher Education. And that, of course, is very important. International students should be looking for universities that are fully accredited. It means that those universities meet the highest standards and that the academics that you're participating in is at the highest caliber. One thing to note is Harrisburg University has been ranked as the #1 STEM university in the nation for several years now, 2023, 2022, 21, and 20. As I mentioned, we have 12 different STEM degrees, and we'll cover that in a little bit. The main campus for Harrisburg University is in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. We do have a satellite campus in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, where a few of our degree programs are currently being offered. As I mentioned, we have 12 different degree programs. All of them are STEM designated. We have everything from MS Analytics, Biotechnology, Computer Information Sciences, Consumer Behavior and Decision Sciences, Cybersecurity Operations and Control Management, Healthcare Informatics, Human-Centered Interaction Design, Information Systems Engineering and Management, Learning Technologies and Media Systems, Pharmaceutical Sciences, Project Management, and Techpreneurship. Now, as you can see, I won't go through all of them, but under each degree that is offered, there are several concentrations that students can choose from. This, of course, provides a lot of variation and flexibility for the students so that you can choose a degree that relates with your career goals and what it is that you're passionate about. Another great thing with these concentrations is what's called an individualized degree concentration. And what that does is it allows you, as I mentioned, to focus on those interests and your strengths while you study. And the way that works is it allows you as a student to combine 15 credits from any other degree program offered at HU to your selected degree. So for example, if you did an MS in project management, and as Alice said, is a very popular program, you can also incorporate 15 credits from other degree programs into that project management degree, which makes it very personalized to you. Now, the programs at Harrisburg University are 2 years in length, and students will participate in classes 3 semesters per year. So there are a total of 6 semesters, and during each semester, students will take 2 3-credit courses. Now, the cost of the programs at Harrisburg University is $5,730 per semester. And again, you'll participate in 3 semesters per year. That tuition is due in full 1 week prior to the start date of each semester. The other great thing about the programs at Harrisburg University is that they are very flexible. So all of the programs are in an executive format, which allows students to balance their education as well as their employment. Students are required to attend on-campus classes 1 Saturday per month. So that would be 3 Saturdays in a semester. And the rest of the time, the students will participate in online and virtual learning. Another great benefit of Harrisburg University is that we have 6 start dates per year. So essentially every 2 months, we've got a start date. So we've got 2 in the spring, 2 in the summer, 2 in the fall. Now, with regards to the upcoming start dates, please contact GoElite. They can provide you with that information and help you choose the correct intake for your goals, whether it's a late spring or whether it's a summer intake. Now, the other big benefit to the programs at Harrisburg University is, of course, the curricular practical training. So CPT is an integral part of the programs, which means participation is a requirement. And that CPT authorization it's authorized from day 1 of the program and for the full duration without any gaps or breaks. And again, that's very, very beneficial to you as a student because you're getting real-world experience as you study. And again, with the executive format, it's allowing you to balance both that CPT as well as your education. That CPT is renewed annually. So every 12 months, you would need to renew that unless, of course, you had a loss of employment or change in employment, in which case you would have to get new CPT authorization. I imagine most here today are familiar with CPT, or curricular practical training, but just again to provide a little insight into this, CPT allows international students with an F1 visa to gain work experience through off-campus paid employment in a field related to their area of study. So that's important. The CPT, or the employment that you look for, must relate to your area of study. And again, because it's integral to our programs at Harrisburg University, it allows you to participate from day one. The other great thing with the CPT is you as a student can choose whether you want to participate in full-time or part-time CPT. Part-time CPT is defined as anything that's 20 hours or less per week, and full-time CPT is defined as anything more than 20 hours per week. And again, that would be your choice. So let's get into the admissions requirements. What does it take to get into a STEM program at Harrisburg University? It's a very, very easy process, and GoElite will be with you every step of the way to help answer any questions you might have. But you will provide an application form. Along with that, you'll have some supporting documents. You will have a goal statement. And as we go through these, you'll notice that several of these may not be applicable to you if you have studied or worked in the United States. So for example, goal statements not required if you have graduated from a US university. You will provide us with your degree certificates and transcripts, 2 letters of recommendation, and these can be from a current or former employer or professor. Again, not required if you've graduated from a US university. You will provide a professional resume, your proof of English proficiency. Harrisburg University accepts IELTS, TOEFL, Duolingo, or PTE. Now, again, if you've studied here in the United States, that English proficiency will be waived. You'll also provide us with a copy of your passport. And again, if you're already in the US, you'll also provide a copy of your I-94 and most recent I-20. And then bank statements. You'll need to show proof of funds in the amount of $27,190. You can either do that through personal means or through a sponsor. If you have a sponsor, you'll just provide us with their statements as well as an affidavit of support. One thing to note as well, the GRE and GMAT are not required, making it very easy for the application. Application window is also very short. So once you submit that application with all of your supporting documents, within 5 to 7 business days, you'll receive an acceptance letter from the university. Application deadlines. You're wondering how much time you have before to be able to apply. If you are currently in the United States, the application deadline for a program is 2 weeks prior to the start date. And if you are outside of the country without a visa, the application deadline is 2 months prior to the start date. So what does that look like when we put it all together? Again, the first step there is to complete the application. GoElite will be there to support you through that. There is no application fee, so it's not going to cost you anything to apply to the program at Harrisburg University. As a transfer student, once you've completed your application and been accepted to the program, you will then pay a $1,000 tuition deposit, or you can pay your tuition in full, at which point you'll be able to then request to transfer your CVIS from your previous school to Harrisburg University. If you're an F1 needed student, meaning you don't currently have a visa or you're not in the US, then you will pay an I-20 deposit and request your I-20 from the university. Once you make your tuition deposit, you'll then be able to register for your classes, complete your orientation, submit your work placement form or waiver, as well as your CPT work authorization request. Following that, the next step is to report to campus on the first day of class. Now, as a reminder, even though it's a very flexible format, that on-campus attendance is required and there are no exceptions. So we do need to have you there for that weekend session or that Saturday session, that one time per month. But again, very easy, straightforward process. We make it very simple for our students to be able to get through the enrollment process and transfer their CVIS and begin their attendance at our school. I've got a video here. I just wanted to share a success story from one of our previous students. So we'll just go ahead and watch that now.
So my name is Paulo. I'm originally from Brazil. It's a great pleasure to be here at Harrisburg University. Since from Brazil, it was my dream to do a master's degree. And it was a struggle for me because when I searched for a program and then a price, it was really hard for me to connect all those two things. And here I could find an affordable program that I could come and a very interesting program that I could choose, which was information systems. Now I'm in my last semester at Harrisburg University, about to finish, and then I'm about to achieve a very important dream that I had when I was a teenager. And I'm so grateful for Harrisburg University to have this opportunity to provide this program for international students.
Perfect. So why choose Harrisburg University? Again, as I mentioned, we're ranked as the #1 STEM university in the nation. We have an extensive list of STEM designated degree programs, 12 to choose from, with varying concentrations. All of our programs are offered in a hybrid format, providing you with the flexibility that you need to balance your workload and your education. Again, CPT from day one of the program in a field related to your area of study. Another big benefit, too, of the programs at Harrisburg University is the professional networking that you'll be able to participate in. Those weekend sessions is a great opportunity to meet students from all different walks of life and backgrounds, and to learn from them and connect with them and to hear of their experiences within their own professions. Another great thing is Harrisburg has fantastic student resources to help you succeed. So along the way, as you're in the program, any questions you have or issues, the ISO is there to help you, and the International Student Office, of course, is going to provide any answers or support that you need. And then again, through the application process, any questions that you have, please contact GoElite, and they will help you through that application. Alice, I will go ahead and transfer it back over to you, and that way we can get into some Q&A.
All right. Thank you, Tyler. That's great information over there. Thank you so much for sharing. And I forgot to mention at the beginning that myself graduated Harrisburg this August with MS in analytics, exactly individualized concentration. I remember my individualized course have majorly 3 departments, like other than myself's. Those are like consumer behavior and also the project management, also even computer science. So they do provide this kind of flexibility, and not just saying it, you are allowed to choose really from any program on the graduate level at the same school. I do appreciate that flexibility. That really put a lot into my toolbox, not only toolbox, but also when you are saying about like professional networking opportunities, they're definitely not just saying it. They deliver, and also you may enter a classroom where your peers work at big names company like Google, Amazon, also the big energy company people. Those are kind of making the cohort really valuable to hang out with. So make sure you don't lose that. Talk to the people next to you once you get enrolled and get your class running. And let's get the Q&A session running too. Let me share my screen. All right, so we already have a lot of questions here. And for those who haven't asked anything yet, make sure you put your questions to the Q&A box so we can get to your questions. Kristen can get to your questions and put it on here. So our first question here is there any STEM-based degree that allows potential finish within 1 year?
I'll take over the Q&A section, Alice, so that Tyler can have a little bit of a break. So to answer this question, the programs at Harrisburg University unfortunately cannot be completed in 1 year. They are all 2-year, 6-semester programs. Each semester you will take 2 courses, so 6 credits per semester. And that's the format of the program. And so unfortunately, it can't be completed in a year.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. So it's kind of fixed 2-year track, right? All right, 2 year of 6 semesters. And would it be possible to take a semester break while also taking the CPT? Just following up on this.
The university, that's a good question, actually. The university does allow you to take an annual break per USCIS regulations. Once you have completed the equivalent of 1 academic year, you are eligible to take a break if you choose. However, we do not recommend taking a break because you will be off track with your cohort. And also, the university will not authorize CPT during that break. So if you do take a break, a semester off, you will not have CPT authorization during that time.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. I remember how like the class go out so fast at my registration. Like also make sure you don't miss that. And how MS project management and bachelor in engineering are related for Day 1 CPT. I'm thinking this person here is trying to say whether they can do a MS project management after their bachelor in engineering.
Yeah,
So
you absolutely can. So one thing that's unique about the project management program is it is STEM designated, and it also applies to lots of different industries. So we have students that enroll in the project management program from engineering backgrounds, from business backgrounds, from finance backgrounds, construction backgrounds. So really, any industry that has any sort of project management, which basically every industry does, is applicable to this program. So, what I would recommend for this student is to go to the graduate catalog on the university website,
mhm.
look through the coursework for the project management program, and see if it's something that relates to your career path and if it's something that you want to pursue.
Yeah, thank you so much, Justin. I still remember a few keywords from the catalog. The curriculum would be including like Agile Lean methods and also Six Sigma. One of the courses I took from the project management portfolio is the one professional communication. So even that is introduced into the program. So yeah, find the information on the website or just talk to us about it. I do have a personal friend who is LNG analyst, and she once enrolled at MS Project Management too. Just to testify, like the background could vary a little bit sometimes. And our next question could be, can I still apply for the January start date intake?
So, as Tyler mentioned previously, the application deadline for students who are already in the US with a valid visa that allows them to study is 2 weeks before the start date. The program at Harrisburg University starts on January 4th. So the application deadline is 2 weeks before that. Keep in mind that the university will be closed for the week between Christmas and New Year's. So we recommend applying right away if you still want to get in for the January intake.
Yeah, thank you so much, Justin. That's a great point. If you still want to join the January start date at Harrisburg, make sure you send in your application today. If you don't see your link yet, just let us know, scan the QR code, and we'll get you supported. And our next question would be, can the tuition be paid installmentally? I think they're trying to ask about the payment plan availability.
That's a good question. So Harrisburg University does not offer payment plans or installments. The semester tuition is $5,730, and it is due in full 1 week before the start of each semester.
Okay, got it. Thank you so much. And moving on, what's the CPT application deadline?
As Tyler mentioned, CPT is an integral part of the program and participation is required. However, we understand that not all students will have CPT eligible employment or an internship lined up by day 1 of the program. If that is the case, that's not a problem. You can submit a CPT waiver until you have secured your CPT employment. If you already do have CPT eligible employment or an internship lined up, you should submit your CPT documents at least 2 weeks before your desired CPT start date. The university is typically faster at, processing those requests, but they do ask that you submit the forms at least 2 weeks before the start date, just so that there's no delay in getting your CPT I-20.
I can definitely personally testify that. So they're not only running on 2-week basis for my 3 times CPT changes and initial application. I see the school actually send my new I-20 with a CPT on it within 1 week. And for the renewal, it's even faster. It's basically in 1 business day. So if you're like joining maybe during their like peak season, I would say July or sometime, make sure you do it, as Justin said, 2 weeks before that as a standard. But don't worry, no rush. If you don't have a job from beginning, just sign a waiver and look for a new job and apply for CPT once you got it. So next one, what's the RIFE success rate at Harrisburg? I'm thinking about 2 processing here, one to the OPT part, the other to H-1B. So what do you think, Justin?
So I can't speak specifically to the success rate because that really is on a case-by-case basis, and there may be variables that are outside of the university's control. But what I can say is that Harrisburg is very supportive of cases for RFEs. Anytime you have an RFE, you can submit a request to the International Student Office, and they will provide any necessary documentation about your academic progress in the program, your enrollment, your attendance at the mandatory weekend sessions. They can provide documentation about, your compliance with F1 regulations, etc. So the International Student Office is very supportive of RFEs.
Yes, absolutely. I actually requested my RFE packet this, I think, September or October for my H-1B. So basically, the DSO will give you a letter upfront explaining the necessity for the program to integrate the CPT. And then, as Justin said, the other documents will be listed. So my packet sum up to about 40 to 50 pages just to show you how they are serious and also very supportive towards this. And they're professional in this as well. So next one would be, what does the day 1 CPT look like in terms of company sponsorship and working as a nurse?
So CPT is a little bit different than like an employment-based visa like an H-1B. So with CPT, your authorization actually comes from the university, not from your employer. So in order to be authorized for CPT, you have to obtain an internship or employment that is related to your area of study. Once you have secured an employment offer, you will submit your CPT authorization request to the university along with a copy of your employment offer letter and your job description. The university will ensure that your employment is related to your area of study. That is a requirement of CPT by the US government. And once they have verified that, then they can go ahead and authorize your CPT, which is your CPT I-20 acts as your employment authorization document. Now, in terms of employment, if you are working as a nurse, you will definitely need to select a degree program that is related to your area of study. So, for example, the MS Nursing program or MS Healthcare Informatics would be great options for you. And like I said, make sure that your job description and your duties align with your area of study so that there is a direct correlation between your employment and your area of study.
Okay, thank you, Justin. I do have 2 follow-up question, also confirmation on this. So our MSN at Harrisburg is also like day 1 CPT eligible, right?
That's correct.
Got it. Thank you. And would the MSN require the applicants to pass the NCLEX to be admitted?
It does. So the MSN program requires the students to pass the NCLEX and also have a valid U.S. nursing license. So those are admission requirements for that program. If you do not have a nursing license, but you are working, as a clinician, maybe you're, working as a CNA or something like that, you could look at other programs like healthcare informatics that don't require a nursing license or the NCLEX.
Those are great points. Thank you, Justin. And moving on, let's see. Next, we have, did Bloomberg investigate the university? Did the school make any changes after the Bloomberg news? So, any thoughts on this one?
Yeah, that's a great question. You may have seen some information from Bloomberg in the news about the university recently. Unfortunately, they didn't really investigate the university. They did write an article that was unfortunately full of misinformation and was quite misleading. One thing that I can tell you is that the university is very strict on their compliance with USCIS regulations for international students. Alice can attest to this because she was a student there. But the university regularly has visits from SEVIS. That's a routine thing. And the university has consistently passed every recertification with USCIS. They're also fully accredited by their accrediting body. And, like I was saying, they are very compliant with USCIS regulations for international students. So that is the reason why, they require that your employment for CPT is related to your area of study. They require that you attend the on-campus weekend sessions because that is a requirement of F1 visa holders. They regularly check your academic progress in the program. As an F1 visa holder, your primary focus must be your academic program, not your employment. So the university is very much focused on the academic program and making sure that students are making good academic progress and remaining compliant at all times with USCIS regulations.
Thank you, Justin. I can 1,000% testify to that because through the program analytics that I took, they actually taught a arts background student, me, learning how to coding, how to do programming, how to do data visualization. And so that's really amazing experience, even outside of the CPT part of the program. So they actually deliver something with quality, with academic quality. I'm not really just saying this because I also graduated NYU. I do believe some course, their quality is comparable. And my peers, I even have peers graduated from like Carnegie Mellon and also Yale. So every people, they're there, they have excellent background, and people gathering together to try to learning something, try to create a community. So I think it's a really great experience. So moving on next, for the proof of English proficiency, I see that the waivement applies to one full semester of graduate studies. Does it mean a bachelor, a bachelor in science does not count, or just any US degree count towards waiving the English proficiency? So does a bachelor count towards it?
It does. If you've earned a bachelor's degree in the US, the proof of English proficiency requirement can be waived. If you studied outside of the US for your bachelor's degree, but you have done, one semester of graduate studies in the US, it can also be waived.
Okay, got it. Thank you. So MOI also works, medium of instruction. All right. Next question we have, is it hard to get into a day one CPT program at Harrisburg? What is the acceptance rate?
Tyler, in his presentation, talked about several admission requirements and admission documents that you need to submit for acceptance to the program. I will say that almost every student who fulfills those requirements and meets the admission requirements is accepted to the programs. So the acceptance rate is very high for qualified students. If you don't meet the requirements, then I obviously can't guarantee admission to the program. The minimum GPA requirement for the program is 3.0. And as Tyler mentioned, we do not require the GMAT or GRE for admission to the program.
Got it. Thank you. And moving on next, will working as a nurse be eligible for MS Healthcare Informatics Day 1 CPT at Harrisburg? I think you just mentioned the answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes. The program, the healthcare informatics program is very much geared toward clinicians and how you use data in your, in your patient care and documenting the care that you're providing for patients. So it is very much applicable to clinicians, and a nurse could qualify for CPT in that program.
Got it. Thank you. Is there any risk for students to enroll Day 1 CPT school after Trump returning to office in January? Like political.
That's a great question. I don't know the answer to that question. I guess we'll see what Trump does in terms of immigration policies, but as of right now, it doesn't seem like anything is going to happen to, CPT or OPT or H-1B. It doesn't mean that it can't, but currently I don't see any, risk of his administration changing CPT at this time.
Got it. Thank you. And next one will be, is PhD in chemistry and MS in project management related for Day 1 CPT? I think this question can be explained in many different ways. If you finish a PhD in chemistry and you want to go back to master's and do a project management, then I think it's doable, but also based on what kind of job you're doing. So again, you can check out the MS in project management's curriculum with us. If you have any further questions, just scan the QR code and let us know. So Justin, Tyler, do you have any input for this one?
No, I agree with that, Alice. I think, like I mentioned previously, the project management program does relate to lots of different industries. And so, you might have a chemistry background, but be working in, a large company that is running big projects and rolling out or implementing new things. And so project management would absolutely be applicable to that.
Got it. Thank you. Just one point to add on here. If you go from PhD to a master level, then if you go down one level, then the OPT wouldn't be available to you on the master level. But still, you have 2 years of full-time CPT at Harrisburg. Just adding to that. So next question, how long does it take for civis transfer? Is it possible to do civis transfer without gap in work if switching from STEM OPT to Day 1 CPT?
The civis transfer is actually initiated by your previous university. They are the ones that trigger the transfer of your civis record. So you will want to check with them to understand their transfer out process. A lot of universities do require that you provide them with 7 to 10 days notice of your desire to transfer out so that they can process that request. The actual transfer is done electronically, so it's actually very fast. But like I said, a lot of universities do require some advance notice just so that they can plan ahead. In terms of going from OPT to CPT, you can definitely figure out the best way to kind of navigate that so that you don't have a gap. For example, if your OPT ends in February, then I would recommend joining the spring term, which starts in January. In order to do that, you would have to transfer your civis record by the program start date, which would be January 4th. But once your civis record has transferred, your OPT effectively ends, and you can begin CPT from day one of the program. And that way you would not experience any gaps in your employment authorization. However, if your OPT ends in February and you wait until late spring to join, which is March, then you will experience a gap in your employment authorization between the end of your OPT and the start of the program.
Got it. Thank you, Justin. I think there are also many other factors speaking into this, like your OPT end date and a school start date, if it's like significantly different from each other. And also other factors like your employer will need to do a unpaid leave for you as well. And if they're willing to even do it further for you, then a rehire is even better than an unpaid leave. So, yep. Let's move on. Can you explain how the hybrid format is in compliance with USCIS? I understand you have to be in person to keep your F1 status.
Absolutely. So at the graduate level, well, at every level, international students are required to enroll in a full course of study. At the graduate level, the university determines what the full course of study is. So at Harrisburg University, a full course of study at the graduate level is 6 credits per semester. That is the minimum number of credits that you have to take to remain compliant with your F1 status. Per USCIS regulations, international students are only permitted to take 1 course per semester fully online. So under the executive format of the programs at Harrisburg University, each semester you will take 2 courses. 1 course is delivered in an executive format, which requires face-to-face instruction on campus 1 Saturday per month. You will also participate weekly in a virtual session. The other course is delivered fully online. So because of that, the university is and those programs are fully compliant with USCIS regulations for F1 visa holders.
Got it. Thank you, Justin. I think many schools graduate programs are taking 6 credits as full-time registration. As I used to.
It's pretty common at the graduate level.
Yes, absolutely. And next question would be, when are the application deadlines for fall semester for someone with F1 visa, and when does the fall semester starts? Same question for winter semester. I can get this one easily. So the application deadline, as Tyler just shared in the PowerPoint, it's 2 weeks before the start date. And the start date for the fall, I think we have 2 terms for fall. It's early or mid-July or late August, right?
Yeah, so the fall semester would be late August, and I don't have the dates off the top of my head, but it would be late August, and then late fall would be October.
Got it. Thank you for correcting me. So July counts as late summer, right?
Correct.
Got it. Thank you. All right, for winter semester, can you also remind us of the dates if you have that?
Yeah, so winter, we're on a semester schedule, not a quarter schedule. So winter would be spring 1 or just spring for us. And that starts in January.
Got it. Thank you. And next will be, is there a max amount of hours we can work a week for full-time CPT?
So the way that USCIS defines part-time and full-time CPT is part-time is anything less than 20 hours per week, and full-time is anything more than 20 hours per week. There is no cap at 40 hours per week, so you can work more than that. However, the university does discourage working more than 40 hours per week because keep in mind that as an F1 visa holder, your primary focus must be your academic program. And if you are working too many hours, it can be very difficult to focus on the programs at Harrisburg, which are very rigorous. So, you have to find a good balance between your CPT and your academic program.
Got it. Thank you. So in conclusion, there may not be a cap on that from USCIS, but from Harrisburg, you're not really encouraged to work beyond that. All right. Thank you. Next one, if I do second master in similar kind of degree that I had before, am I eligible for CPT or not? So from my standpoint as consultant, we don't really recommend you to repeat yourself in terms of the program. For example, if you finish computer science before, then we don't recommend you to consider another computer science related major. So what do you think, Justin?
I agree with that. So as you know, to answer your question in a very literal sense, yes, you can get CPT because CPT is a required component of the program, and it is an integral part of the program. However, as Alice mentioned, we don't recommend taking the same degree program or a similar degree program more than once. One, that doesn't really help you as a student to advance your education and broaden your knowledge. And two, in the event that you wanted to apply for change of status or something like that, the government is going to question why you did the same degree twice. So they want to see that as an F1 visa holder, you are making academic progress. You're working your way from bachelor's to master's to doctorate, and that you are, again, broadening your knowledge and your understanding, not just taking the same classes over and over.
Got it. Thank you. Yeah, so make sure there's a logical progression of your study along the way while you're on F1. And next one would be, I saw our time is already up for today, but do you mind just getting these two questions done?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, thank you. So does Harrisburg accept student loans for proof of funds?
They do. You can use a loan sanction letter for proof of funds. The sanction letter must be dated. It must show the amount that you've been approved for. And it must show that you've been approved, not just that you applied for the loan.
Okay, so loan approval document, that will work. Thank you. Our last but not least today, if I am on an F1 visa expiring January 2026 and I want to register for fall semester 2025, do I have to go back to home country to renew the visa?
You don't. So one thing that's unique about F1 visas is that they are valid for duration of status. So even though you do have an expiration date on your visa, you can remain legally in the country beyond that expiration date as long as you maintain your status by enrolling in a full course of study or participating in OPT. So as long as you have an active CVIS record and you remain enrolled in a program to maintain your status, you do not have to go back to your country to renew your visa. If you leave the country after your visa has expired, you will need to renew it before you'll be able to get back into the country.
Okay, thank you, Justin. So basically, the physical copy of that visa on your passport is needed when you are trying to re-enter in the US. And if not, if you don't plan to travel internationally in a while in future, then you can just stay while your status is still active. All right, that's the very last question of today. And thank you again, both Justin and Tyler for joining us today. And everyone here as participants, feel free to scan the QR code so we can get more of your questions answered. And today's webinar recording will also be sent to your email you used at registration for today's webinar. All right, happy holidays, everyone. Let me stop share and let's call it a day.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Thank you, everyone.
Okay, bye, everyone.